What's good, y'all? It's Jay Coffee on the vid. Back with an update. Tory Lanez arrested again. Had to put up a new bail. I'm sure everyone does seen the headlines by now. Tory, I'm sure he's out already because reportedly he had the bondsman with him in court. He already knew what time it was. And that's what's up. That's how you got to move. You know, you're rich. Why spend one moment in jail that you don't have to? And the prosecutors were really pushing to the bail ended up being $350,000, but first the prosecutors were talking about no bail. Then they said, okay, well, $5 million. And, this is a big difference there, right? $5,350,000. But again, I'm sure he's free already because he was trying to expedite that process. And, he violated the order of protection or stay away order, however you want to refer to it. Different states, different names, different charges, or stipulations. Y'all know what I'm saying. But when you hear that, you would think Tory had someone call her, or he showed up to somewhere where she was, or something like that. Because if you recall, some months back, they tried to hit Tory Lanez with this. I can't remember if it was Rolling Loud or one of them shows, one of them venues where both artists were there to perform at the same time. And they came down on Tory and told him in the future, like, if she's got a date booked, you can't book that date. Hell, I'm not positive, but I think they even said, yo, if you got the date booked and she books, you're a SOL. It's out of luck. But when you get down to the bottom of what happened here, it really makes you understand why what Tory Lanez was doing originally when this all happened. For the longest time, Billy Joel voice. For the longest time. When everything first jumped off, that he wasn't saying nothing. Nada. Zip, zilch, zero. Remember, he didn't address it at all by any means until he dropped the surprise Daystar project. Everyone thought that we were going to tune in and get a Tory Lanez IG live or something, but we got a link to SoundCloud and a post and link to SoundCloud and the Daystar project dropping, which we ended up streaming. Jump in the comments if you were in there with me. We had like 25,000 people up in there, but it had been months and months. It had been a grip. I don't remember the exact time frame, but it had been a while, and Tory Lanez wasn't saying ish, and I get why, because this is what the result is of him discussing it, more or less, when you want to get down to it. And y'all know the saying, nothing from nothing leaves nothing. Basically what I'm saying is he could get in trouble like this, or things that he's saying could be, spun, or, he could get emotional and say the wrong thing or whatever. Like, it doesn't seem that it can do him any good at all addressing it. In this society, the current climate of the internet, where we seem to know everything that's going on, more or less, there seems to be some kind of account of everything that goes down, whether it be text, audio, video, witnesses, whatever. It makes people want to speak out, especially too when everyone's reacting on social media. Influencers are speaking about things. I get it. People want to address things, but from this point on, I got to think we won't see anything, for the most part, discussed about this case at all. And you'll see some different tweets popping up. Quite a few from Akademiks, who some months back was tweeting about how, like, he saw some court paperwork and, Tory Lanez is going to be cleared. His DNA wasn't on the weapon, on the strap. Then some tweets from Meg. They were going back and forth, and it's a crazy situation, guys. Comment and let me know what you guys think is going to happen with this case. And, for a real quick update, too, I thought that trial was almost among us, but they're talking about September now, which is like 5 months away. I don't know why. I felt like the trial was way closer than that. And comment, too, guys. What do you think? Do you think this is going to, hurt, in a sense, that he got hit with this charge when it comes to the trial, or do you think it's not really going to make a difference? Who knows? Juries are subjective to different things. I don't know. It's just crazy. But, here's some tweets from Ak. What do you say? Oh, this is where he was telling her don't address Big Ack unless you're going to talk about what the DNA report said. What do you say? Holla at the DA and figure out what they said. And if I lied, file a lawsuit. Then there was he retweeted a reporter that was saying, I have transcript from court reporter. This is what Tory Lanez attorney said. And, Ack put up a bunch of laughing emojis. But more or less, this seems to be, I don't want to say the smoking gun, but in a sense of what got Tory Lanez in this situation here where he got arrested. Because Tory put out a tweet, where he said, Ack is telling no lies. And when they went to court today, before they hit him with this new bail, and like I said, the prosecutors were trying to get no bail or $5 million. A big part of what they were arguing about was if DJ Akademiks was provided with court paperwork one way or another, and more or less if Tory Lanez was talking about discovery as far as with the case. Like, it's not really saying that he threatened her or had someone else do it or anything of that nature, like anything directed at Meg from him. It was talking about the case, and that's what they were arguing. Where it says, let's see here, they argued about a tweet from DJ Akademiks that read, I saw this document myself. It literally says it was inconclusive in finding Tory's DNA on the gun or magazine. And they argued that that tweet was false, like Ack's putting bad, information out there, which really honestly isn't true. They kind of were arguing semantics, that Ack was saying his DNA wasn't on the gun, but then they're saying, well, no, it was inconclusive. So inconclusive doesn't necessarily mean that it wasn't on the gun. That means that it was inconclusive. I don't know. It's all crazy when you really get to the bottom of all this. You know what I mean? It's literally a whole bunch of legal semantics. And it says, also that the attorney argued that they did not provide a third-party Twitter user and YouTube personality known as DJ Akademiks with any discovery in the case before Ack started tweeting on February 23rd about all this DNA stuff. And that got, if you guys recall, that got Meg super in her feelings. That's why Ack was talking about that. Don't try to come for Big Ack, like, you know what I mean, and file a lawsuit if I'm tripping or whatever. So, it really seems that behind the scenes, Meg's legal team was pushing for this hard body. And I'm kind of surprised that they ended up getting this to stick as him violating the order, saying that he talked about the discovery, because the tweet from Tory Lanez that they're referring to is him saying Ack telling no lies. Like, literally, that's it. They're taking all those tweets from Ack and Tory saying Ack telling no lies as him putting it out there about the discovery. That's kind of wild if you think about it, right? That this actually got Tory Lanez arrested. This actually, had him having to post a new $350,000 bail. Ain't that a bitch? And, recently in the other situation, I don't know if you guys recall when all those reports just a week or two were coming out about 6ix9ine, that he went broke. And then DJ Akademiks was breaking down, again, heavy on the semantics in Akademiks, speaking about that whole situation. But Ack was basically inferring that 6ix9ine was saying this because, he was being sued by robbery victims or people that just saw the robbery that went down in at one of those radio stations or whatever. And, basically, like, 6ix9ine was trying to argue that the people were asking for too much money and, his net worth is really only this or that. Basically facing civil suits and saying, yo, I'm broke. This is crazy, And I was almost thinking when all that was going on was like, man, do you guys think they can take what Akademiks is saying here, those people's attorney that are suing 6ix9ine, and say, oh, look, this guy is in close contact with 6ix9ine. They rock together. And, he's clearly talking here and inferring that he spoke to 6ix9ine and 6ix9ine really is just lying to the court about what his brethren finances are looking like. And as I'm thinking all that, then this situation goes down here. It's wild, man. Everything gets addressed on the internet, and we already know, we've seen law enforcement in cases and stuff like that, homicides be solved by stuff on the internet. And this is a stretch from that. This is saying someone broke an order of protection by a couple tweets that were not threatening in any manner, but basically we're talking too much about the case. I don't know. Again, you see why Tory Lanez wasn't saying ish for the first however many months. He should have just kept with that. And listen, I'm not trying to stick up for one side or the other, but it's kind of crazy. You guys remember Meg Thee Stallion flat out in a post said, "Tory, you shot me. This, that, and the third." And, she can't really face any repercussions for that. She's not the defendant here. So more or less, it seems the court is just trying to cut out all this internet hoopla. Is that even a word? About this case. They want everyone to stop tweeting about it, stop talking about it. They don't want public opinion being swayed. And I think this will happen. I don't think anyone's really going to want to talk much about this case after all this. But basically, that's all I got on this one. You guys tap in, comment, let me know what you think. Again, do you think that when trial time is upon us again, scheduled for mid-September, who knows if there could be more delays or not? Do you think that the fact that Tory Lanez was rearrested and broke this order, that can be a strong narrative that the prosecutors can push off with? What are your thoughts about the case and all that? Let's discuss it all below. Thanks for tuning in. It's been another episode from J Coffee Talk. Hit them buttons for me, y'all. Stay tuned. More content coming. Music, news, sports, and more. I'm about here. Peace.